Fuck, man. Technology is fucked. Okay, if you're ready, I shall go. This interview is brought to you by Salad. If it tastes good, you're doing it wrong. One chilly spring morning, as the mist still rolled across the top of the bay, a lone boater slowly rowed out from Spread Eagle Point. It wasn't long before they found themselves rowing serenely by the island of Dildo and on into the Dildo Arm, which, as far as I understand it, is sort of like a bay in a bay. Bye. She pulled her vessel up on the shores of Dildo and started a long, treacherous hike north. When she finally reached Squinch Pond, she thought, "This won't do, it's far too squinchy here." So she turned back toward Dildo, where she erected her home. When her Dildo home was complete, she stood back and took a picture. The picture captured the hearts and minds of many, but in particular one Jimmy Kimmel, who had been enamored with the mystical land of Dildo for a short time. The whole world had its eyes on Dildo, but soon Jimmy's interest faded and did the gaze of the world. The lone boater was alone again, and though she loved her Dildo home, she had felt the longing stare of the world and was no longer satisfied with solitude. So she once again took to the bay with nothing but her oars and her camera. She rowed through day and night for weeks on end. She weathered many a perilous storm and finally arrived in Toronto Harbor. She stepped off the boat for the final time and loudly announced, "I am Sandra, and I came to take pictures." Welcome to the podcast, Sandra. How are you?
Thank you for having me. That was stunning. I
That was all true, right?
Every single bit of it. Like, I actually founded the town of Dildo.
Wait. So, but you do genuinely come from Dildo?
I do. And my family's been in the town of Dildo since the 1800s. So I'm from Dildo Cove, next to Dildo Head Road, across from Spread Eagle, as you brought up, near Conception Bay.
Near Conception Bay. I wanted to talk about Conception Bay, but I couldn't locate where it was. Was thinking about if a boater was coming through Conception Bay. It wouldn't make any sense to go around.
But you would end up in Come by Chance.
Come by Chance? I fucking love it. I also love how, like, on the internet, there's like a bunch of people like trying to be like, oh, well, Dildo was actually named after like the spot that you put your oar in your boat, blah, 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 blah. Going like, come on. Like, it was definitely a guy or girl. It was someone just going like, fuck this. This place is called Dildo. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. What is your opinion on that?
It's the shape. So, like, I don't know what came first, the land, or like, where did the shape come from? Like, was like, it's about the shape of the land. So,
and the land is shaped like very phallic in nature.
I mean, yeah, like it's called Dildo Head for a reason. Like, it goes so like that, and then like where you would put the oar, kind of like you shove it in a hole. So, I'm guessing.
So it's the ring on the oar with the like little friggin' dink on it.
Sure, yeah.
So a dildo's a dildo.
A dildo's a dildo. Like, it's a phallic shaped thing that is in a bay.
Okay. Yeah, like, isn't like a... Now, you probably know... Oh, fuck, that's going to sound shitty, but I mean, like, based on the fact that you're coming from Dildo, you probably know more about dildos than me, but, like, it's one of the, like, oldest tools, right? Like, they found, like,
they used to be made out
dildos.
of wood.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? So that's why I don't know what came first. Like, did someone call a dildo, or was it the shape? Like, there literally is questions about it. And I mean, now obviously the modern, like, I call everyone a dildo.
It's pretty obvious, right? Somebody was looking at the end of an oar, right? The handle part, and went, if I cut that off, just, I don't know, 6 inches of it or so,
and then stick it right up my ass.
Pretty much.
Well, the funny thing is, my uncle you can Google this, in the early 90s tried to get the name of the town changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, and it, like, because my family's been in the area for so long, and he was like, no, let's change it. I can't even remember what he tried to change it to, but he was
surely
like, no.
Anything would be better, right? Like...
No! Hey, come on. When we first met, like, every person, there were so many kids with cameras at all your shows, and then you met me and I'm like, hi, I'm from Dildo. And you're like, come again? I'm like, I
Yeah.
thank you.
That's true. Like, I mean, it is so fucking unique that it just like gives you like kind of status right out the gates. It gives you something to talk about unless you stay there and everybody you know is from Dildo. And then of course you don't talk about it.
And you're recording this from the Dildo Historical Library, right? All those books behind you are all about Dildo.
They're all about Dildo, its ancestors, various photos of different dildos.
Yep.
All anything you need to know. These are all encyclopedias.
Yep.
The name of that town is an endless source of conversation. Like I could honestly talk about it all night. But I mean, if you could, like, I know your relation to the band. I know your history with the band. But if you could, for people that are listening to the podcast that maybe don't know your relationship with the band, could you explain sort of, how we came across one another?
I was driving down the road in Newfoundland. I saw some strange men on the side of the road. They had garbage bags full of clothing and some instruments made out of Tupperware containers and 5-gallon buckets. And I was like, they need a home. So I picked them up, and it turned out they were in this band, Protest the Hero. And I was like, okay, well, I'll bring you into St. John's and introduce some friends I know. So I did that. And it turns out the band was actually pretty good. And we brought them to Long and McQuaid, got them some new instruments, and they played a show in St. John's. The real story is...
Glad that you're repaying the favor.
The real story is one of my best friends, John Pike, Johnny Rockhard, he was a promoter at home. He was basically the reason why most of St. John's and the greater St. John's area, including Dildo, knew about any punk and metal bands that were outside of that, outside of like the skater kid realm. And he brought Protest to Newfoundland, and I kind of showed up and was like, I'm going to this. I'm going to take pictures of this. I'm here now. Thank you. And kind of weaseled my way in. And turns out that I did end up liking the band, and they were pretty cool dudes, and started doing a lot of stuff for Rockhard and all of his concerts and stuff like that. And then we did a couple cross Newfoundland tours, which were epic and wonderful and full of fun surprises. We did a photo shoot in Dildo.
Yeah,
we actually did a photo shoot in Dildo. So it's kind of like you guys were one of the few bands that came to Newfoundland that wasn't just like a top 40 hit or a band like Blue Rodeo for the 30th time in 1 year, which I always
will
expected.
Never be a top 40 hit. Not by choice.
But you would sell out shows. Like it was such a unique thing because there was no radio play. There's no alternative stations in Newfoundland besides like the college stations. Back in the day, Spotify wasn't a thing. We were all on LimeWire or Napster trying to like download stuff. And y'all were up here making the music you were making, and it kind of infiltrated Newfoundland. And then you ended up with a giant fan base in Newfoundland to the point where shows were selling out within hours of going on sale, which was absolutely amazing. So, I every time I talk about Protest or like bands like Protest, Cancer Bats, anything like that, I'm like, there's so much mad respect because you came and catered to this small little niche community that is incredibly passionate. So it was obviously these guys need to be my friends.
Yeah, and I think first time I remember meeting you was at a bar. Well, we had met before, like at the shows, but then we hung out at a bar. I can't remember what fucking bar it was. I just remember that guy from like Much Music. He was on an episode of Much Music that we were watching at the hotel. I don't know if you remember this at all, but like we went back to the hotel after the show and we turned on Much Music, and there was a guy from Newfoundland in this episode where they take you to meet your favorite band, and he went and met the Pussycat Dolls. And we were watching this episode being like, this is fucking amazing. And then we're at the bar. I'm hanging out with you. And the fucking guy walks into the bar. Like, I'm sure you've run into this guy a handful of times. But I was flabbergasted by the fact that I maybe came up to him a little too aggressively, but was like, hey, I was just fucking watching you meet the Pussycat Dolls. And he was like, nah, it wasn't me. Like, you know, fucking, it was you. I was very pissed at that guy. But that's the first time I remember hanging out with you.
I remember that night too. It was called Headquarters. Right. And it was like our friend's bar, and he ran it into the ground because we never paid to drink there.
Sick.
It
That's
worked out in our
fucking
favor.
awesome. Fritzy, do you have...
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like a stalker scrolling through your Instagram to prep for this episode. And there's a photo, and I'm guessing you took this photo. It's a very famous...
I don't know, man.
It's a very famous photograph in PTH sort of lore, right? It's from the Mist video in the bar with everybody gathered around the band and everything. Johnny's there, and Rhodey's sort of standing in the middle. So you posted this photo on June 2nd of 2014. And the caption says something along the lines of, this photo makes my heart grow 3 sizes. But when you reposted the photo on March 1st, 2015, so like 9-ish
I
months
knew he was
later,
doing something weird.
you said it made your heart grow 2 sizes. So I guess my question is, based on the math, if we look at trends over time, why do you hate Protest the Hero in general and Rhodey specifically?
I like to believe that all of the band members that have left are directly because of Rhodey and his attitude.
100%.
That's probably true.
They've all told me.
Yeah.
They've all told me that.
I thought so.
In one way or
like
another.
I've learned not to get attached to Protest the Hero members, outside of Rhodey, of course, and Tim.
Yeah,
I love Tim.
I'm not going anywhere.
Anyone else is on a rotating schedule, so I find that my heart grows depending on who's in the band, how much they love me, how much they get my bullshit. So I believe there may have been a band member lost in that small amount of time,
probably,
or a new in gain that I didn't really like. So that's the biggest explanation there.
Yeah, probably.
You probably wouldn't like Henry very much.
No, he's horrible.
I watched.
I think I would.
Yeah, no, he's a very sweet guy. I watched the Mist video today because I watch it every day. But you're not in it. Like, what the fuck is going on? How are you not in that video? Like, you were there for all of that. You're thanked in the end of it. You are in it?
I am in the bar scene. I'm like behind Luke. Because I was taking photos most of it. And then my brother is. He's the guy in the Southwest.
Oh, I know. I saw your brother. I fucking remember your brother.
But there's like a brief moment of me, but I was like, I'm not want to be in front of the camera. So I felt so much more comfortable just like taking pictures of everything. But I'm pretty sure there's like a tiny bit of me when we're at, where were we? The levee.
Yeah.
I'm behind
when
Luke
we were doing
at some point.
When we were doing the fucking street shots over and over and over again. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that was like that whole thing was just absolutely magical. It was a moment in time, but I'd rather just like photograph you guys.
Yeah, I assumed that it was like, well, she was probably working all these fucking shows and all this stuff, so like that's why you weren't in it. But like for whatever reason, I just like watched it today, thinking like, all right, where is Sandra? I'm gonna find her in these moments. And like I couldn't find you in the video. I was like, that's so fucked up.
You're gonna have to put like an in memoriam.
Yeah.
Like at the end, we're like like a Teletubby's son or something, or like the '80s photos when like someone dies and they put them in the corner. Like just leave me there. Be like, she was here. I swear to God, she was here this whole time. But I just want to be that little shadow in the corner.
I have so many questions for you because you've done so many cool things, like us, whatever. You know, like there are so many fucking artists that you've shot over the years. Like, I just scrolling through your website today. It's like, you've shot everyone. Fucking everyone. I don't even recognize some of the people that you're taking pictures of, but they're playing fucking stadiums. So, like, holy shit. You've had an illustrious career. Is there any rock photographer in Newfoundland bigger than you?
Oh, my God.
More
no.
successful, is there?
There's a lot of that makes me feel weird. Someone's gonna bitch about me on the internet. There's a lot
fuck
of
'em.
really, there's some really rad rock photographers that are in Newfoundland, but they didn't sustain it. Like they're still at it. Like there's this one kid that she's doing it, and like she reminds me so much of me. I think she has the longevity, but there's like when I look back at it, for when I started doing it, and the people that were alongside me in Newfoundland, they're not doing it anymore. So like to see the new generation of them, like it warms my cold little heart. But I had to leave to kind of keep the momentum going because bands stopped coming for some reason. I am unsure why. And it just started turning into bigger festivals instead of the smaller. Like I think the scene kind of I can't even talk about what happened to the scene, but it stopped going from what we were doing with like selling of the CLB to having it be so sweaty that we're like the floors have inch of sweat on them to maybe the show will sell. So I think that scene, like there's not a lot of kids that are down there now surviving on the same stuff that we grew up with.
Not as much opportunity to be a photographer if the scene's not as sort of like happening, right?
Yeah, they all want to go to. Sorry?
That was all a very roundabout way of saying that you are the biggest rock photographer to ever come out of Newfoundland. Yeah.
It's true.
Name another.
Rock photographer that came out of Newfoundland? I mean, there's David Howells. He's photographed.
Did he ever photographer? Did he ever do, did he take a picture of Gord Downey?
I'm sure at some point he might have. He did. He shot Amy Winehouse.
Oh, okay. So he is actually quite successful.
He's successful, but he never did the live stuff, and he actually pawns some gigs off of on me when he doesn't really want to do them. So
he doesn't do the live stuff.
No, he's more of like he does some live stuff. Like he did Rod Stewart a few years ago.
Nice.
Oh, okay. He's a big deal.
Yeah, my mom. This is my mom's favorite episode now.
Yeah.
So he did some Rod Stewart stuff, and he was supposed to do a Matchbox 20 gig this summer, and it got COVID, and then I came in and saved the day.
Oh,
as
did you get up close and personal with Rob Thomas? You'd get some fucking good shots.
Wearing my KN95, there was no up close and personals with Rob Thomas on the store. It was stay away.
Oh, so
and we had
to be pretty far away. Oh, right, it was during COVID. I mean,
well, yeah,
it's still COVID.
I know, but that's what I mean.
You should be wearing a mask right now, Rowdy.
Right now. You don't know where I've been.
I actually have COVID right now. Not even kidding.
This is the first time he's been allowed out of his quarantine room in a week.
I feel honored. I'm your COVID guest.
I've been positive for so long. Look at I'm going red like a tomato.
I was also looking at the website today, and I was trying to count because I really, really wanted there to be more Flatliners pictures up than protest pictures, just so I could rub that in Rhodey's face a little bit.
Flatties are the best
because the Flatliners are the fucking best.
I fucking love the Flatliners. Okay, I do. You know what? This is why the Flatliners are better. I went to Paris.
Yes.
I was in Paris, and I'm at a hostel, and I'm like, what? I'm like literally talking. I met another couple from Calgary. They were amazing. We were chatting about your favorite bands, and I was like, man, the Flatliners just played Newfoundland. Like, I fucking love them. Like, chef's kiss. And they're like, oh, they're playing here in 2 days. I was like, fuck right off. So I write our good friend Johnny, and I'm like, hey Johnny, you want to write little handsome Chris a little message and be like, hey, my wonderful friends in Paris, will you hook her up with the show? So I ended up going to see the Flatliners in Paris and take photos of it, and it was right after they had that the shooting over there. Remember in the club?
The Bataclan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was like we didn't know what to expect going into it. We were really kind of scared, and let me tell you, Parisians know how to rock out. It was such a good show. There were body stuff, and someone stole my I had this stuffed teddy bear I bring everywhere called Domo. Someone stole it because it was up on stage. I wasn't even that mad. Then we ended up drinking cheap red wine and mixing it with Diet Coke because that apparently makes it better on their RV until 4 a.m. I almost missed my flight. I threw up in my sweater in the security line. It was a beautiful and epic night. So
so you had a good night with the Flatties.
Yeah, so if you could bring me to Paris or be in I was really upset that you didn't ask me to go to Australia, so I'm okay with, I guess, the Flatliners being a better band.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, they win that one. They win that one, and that's totally fair. You know what? All in all, they are a better band. It's not opinion, it's fact.
But the Flatlanders didn't play Marystown, and Protest has played Marystown, Newfoundland, which is a community of not a lot of people. My grandmother lives there, and when she thought we went over and had like tea. Remember, we were all leaving the hotel the next morning, and I was like, I gotta go see my nan. And I go over, and she thought the whole band was coming, and she had like the fine china laid out. She was in her little nightgown. She had fine china. She had toast and tea ready to go, and you guys were like, "No, fuck your nan, we're not coming."
I don't think anybody said "fuck your nan." I don't recall
100%.
those specific.
100%. Those words were said.
I'm pretty sure they were, and then it just ended up being me and like the merch girl going over to my grandmother's. Well, she poured tea at 8 a.m.
So sorry. I am so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
How can you live with yourself?
I honestly am starting to really question it.
This is it.
But yeah, Marystown is fucking hilarious. Like every time you always meet some people from Newfoundland that are like older, hanging around, living in Ontario, just trying to die here for some reason. And you get talking to them about Newfoundland, and you bring up Marystown, and then that's immediately like someone respects what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh yeah, everybody knows fucking St. John's and Corner Brook, right? But you bring up fucking Marystown, be like, I've been to fucking Marystown, man. Played a fucking show there, and people are immediately like,
okay.
Like bands don't play there. Like they don't. No. Like it's local bands.
They shouldn't. Like that show was a lot of fun. But it was at like a restaurant in the middle of the day.
There was a guy that got mad at, I can't remember who. It was like me and Rocker were talking about something. And he was like, how do you guys do laundry when you're on tour? And I was like, well, like I've been wearing these pants for 2 days. He's like, that's disgusting. Like I'm so pissed off at the idea that I was wearing pants for 2 days in a row. And I'm like, we don't have the luxury of our mothers cleaning our clothes when we come home from Alberta. He didn't like that.
I don't wash my pants at home. I don't change my pants. They're pants.
Yeah, you don't.
I haven't showered in 8 days.
Don't wash pants.
It's COVID.
You ruin pants by washing them.
I think that's true
because they become like all stiff when they're dry, and it takes a long time to break them back in. Don't wash your pants.
Yeah,
unless they're like have mud on them.
Yeah.
No, you spot clean and spray them with Febreze.
There you go.
I buy my pants mostly my chinos from Old Navy, so I got about 6 weeks on them anyway. They're just ready to bust open. These are not high quality pants.
You buy them in a 10-pack?
You could.
You buy your pants in a 10-pack?
Yeah, the last pair I bought came pre-stained.
What?
There was like a bunch of glue on them. It's a good store.
Where is this? What store is this?
Old Navy.
Oh.
Quality material.
I thought you were talking about Canadian Tire.
Oh, I wish. I fucking wish. Now, Sandra, you photograph the Arkells a lot.
Yes.
Are you good friends with the Arkells?
We know who each other are, and we will buy each other a drink at the bar.
Well...
They're not close as us.
Okay, well, good. Good, first of all. I'd like you to deliver a message to that.
I will.
Well, here's the thing about that. I am jealous. I fucking hate the Arkells. I hate that fucking Max. And it is strictly because I am green with jealous rage. Every time I turn on the fucking hockey game, he's up there for the Toronto Maple Leafs fucking smooching Kyle Dubas, singing a fucking song to open the season, doing all sorts of fucking things. I am so jealous of that guy that I am actually moved to hatred. I don't care what they sound like. Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. Either way, I fucking hate him. But not as a human being or as a musician, just strictly because I am petty and jealous. So next time you see him, you tell him.
I'll pass him. I just saw him at John Mayer. He was at John Mayer, and I was like, next time I see him, maybe the next John Mayer show.
I got a message for John Mayer, too. Don't you? I don't, I'm just kidding. But now I know someone that you are actually friends with that I need to pick your brain about. Okay, and maybe you won't be able to say too much because their career is illustrious and strictly for children. But Fritzy, I don't know if you know this, but Sandra is friends with the Wiggles.
How, like, friends?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony are pretty tight.
Yeah.
The Wiggles?
Friggin' Anthony.
How does one go about doing that?
Tell him.
Well, they played Newfoundland. They did like a couple shows for the kids. Oh, that made me dizzy. It's like, oh, Anthony. They played a couple shows at Mile 1 for the children, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, do you like the moms go crazy for you, especially that Lockie? Like, not that new guy. I wish he was in Newfoundland when I was, but." She was like, we should do a show at the Rock House where you played. So we sold tickets, and they went to the Rock House and played an adult session where they played some like Scottish tunes, some Irish tunes. And as the night progressed, you know where it went. We were getting fruit salad. We were getting big red car. We were getting like, it slapped. It was amazing. The moms were going nuts. Captain Featherbottom was getting hands shoved down his pants. People were trying to sexily sing happy birthday to Lockie, sneaking upstairs. Like, I have never seen women this crazy at a concert before in my life. And I've been to concerts with fucking Bieber, and I've never seen people act like this before in my life.
These are adults.
Yeah.
Fully grown women. Like, they had brought their kids to the like matinee, and now they're back there like trying to like get on with the Wiggles and
Captain Feathersword.
That's what I said. I call him Featherbottom. I don't know why I call him Featherbottom.
Go ahead. Featherbottom. I know why you called him Featherbottom, because his cheeks were soft and it was you squeezing on them.
I mean, it was only 2 fingers. That's it.
Fuck. So, did you take them to George Street?
We were on George Street. We were at the Rock House, so they got squeezed in and everything. It was their first show they've ever drank before. They had never had a drink before a show in their whole career.
Well, that would make sense. That would make sense.
2 p.m. perform. If they did, I'd have questions and maybe like the call them TMZ up. But we had we served them gin and tonics, and they partied until the wee hours, and it was such a wonderful experience that the next day when Anthony tagged me in a photo and called me a rock star photographer, I had never been so excited being tagged by anybody in my life. I was like, this is it. I've made it.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm like, the Wiggles know who I am, Anthony. And now he'll send me messages about the Nan that you didn't want to go see. He'll send her messages about.
Please don't tell me that Anthony went for tea with your Nan.
No, I think he has plans next time he's in Newfoundland. They're gonna go share some tea, a few stories.
I got plans too. Same time, same day.
So no, it was the weirdest, funnest.
It's gonna be just me, Anthony, and Nan, and maybe Captain Featherbottom.
She would love all of it. She would give you guys all tea and toast, and just you would have a wonderful time with her. And now I told you, anytime you want a Wiggles hookup, I got you.
I want a Wiggle hookup. Actually, I went to see them live with my son, and the whole time I was thinking, I gotta text Sandra, see if I can get backstage, say what's up to those Wiggles.
I got it in. I got you. Like, not often can I say that, but I'm like, I got you this time.
Oh, that's so sick, though.
I mean, so if you want to go see the Wiggles, let me know.
Like, you got close with Anthony, Tony, if you will.
Like
Tony Wiggles.
Tony Wiggle. Tony W.
Yeah, but so you weren't hanging with Lockie too much?
He was there. It was post-divorce. So Emma was there. He was there. It was a whole thing. I don't know how much you know about the Wiggles dynamics, but
we're totally, I know lots
your
about
listener
it.
base right now is like, what the hell is happening?
Like, there's so much drama in the Wiggle camp, dude.
We
the
love
Wiggle House
drama.
is rocking.
So it was, he was there. He was there. And he was a point of attraction for many of the mothers, if you will.
Oh, he's hot as hell. Now, Emma wasn't partying, I take it.
Emma was not. She came out and did a little jig. She stood
Yeah.
side stage. Beautiful
I watched
woman.
the whole concert. Someone filmed it on their fucking cell phone. I watched the whole thing.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I
It was
saw
a
her
wonderful
dance around.
night.
Yeah.
There was a little moment where they all came out into a little jig and sang into the
Yeah,
microphones
yeah.
together, and it was beautiful.
That's
It was,
so- It's so fucking interesting because obviously they're like inspired by Irish and Irish music. Like it presents itself, but they're all the way over in fucking Australia.
yeah.
How do the Irish even get over there?
Anthony's Scottish. It's right
Oh,
there.
he's Scottish.
Yeah.
Whew. That makes sense.
So we got that little bit of European in him.
Fuck. When you're photographing a show, when you're not photographing a show, like obviously you love music, you love fucking hanging out, going to shows. Can you actually enjoy the show, or is it just like you think about like, fuck, that would have been a good shot, man? You know?
Always, always, always. Like I watched for the photographers. I'm like, they missed that shot, assholes. Like I'm like, where were they? Like, even though it's the one show on like a 30 tour run, I'm like, that's side lighting. Like, look at that asshole over there, like missing this shot. Like, all I want to do is photograph it. But as I'm getting older, I'm trying to appreciate, separate the work music, because music is my work, but it's also my favorite thing to be a part of. I absolutely adore it. So I'm trying to go and enjoy it more than just like call up someone and be like, hey, can you get me in? Or like, hey, I did guest list with my camera. I want to buy a ticket, support the artist, and go and watch it. But I still find myself like with my iPhone being like, oh, that lighting is sick. Like this, oh man. I can't turn it off. I just want to shoot everything. Like it ruins everything for me. But I mean, it makes me appreciate what the artists do 10 times more when I can like not just have my camera in my face.
Yeah. Fuck, that's gotta kind of suck.
It does. Like going to concerts that are like, I'm like, I could probably do this better. No, I can't. But I think I could.
Oh, you definitely could.
I'm definitely
Fritzy,
going
you look
through,
like you got a question.
I'm definitely going through a similar thing. Like since I started the podcast, I've stopped listening to PTH completely.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it anymore. I don't enjoy their music.
Nah,
I'm
you
not
can't
planning on
when you're
seeing
just
any
thinking
live
about-
shows anytime soon. I got to separate the
Wait, you're
things that
coming
I
to the
love,
next
which
live
is just
show.
talking into a microphone and
With
the
your
stuff
best
that's
friend.
the work. You know, I gotta
I
keep it separate.
I think I saw your records on Discord or Discogs earlier. I think like you're selling them all. So
All my
I
PTH
can understand
records,
that.
they're still wrapped. Yeah, I've never even opened them.
You didn't even open them,
No.
for Christ's sake?
No, I bought all the
God.
I bought all the cool merch, and I just haven't like the coloring book. Haven't colored a single page.
Wow, you're an adult.
It's for adults. It has a
Yeah.
picture of you farting in another human's face.
That's kids' play. That's child's play. That's pure kid stuff.
I mean, you've paid for merch. I get paid in merch, so it works out.
I've gotten some freebies. Don't tell Luke.
I don't ever talk to him, so
Okay.
how would I?
Cool. Perfect. We had a question in the Discord
Oh, yeah.
from Water MK Missing. Don't know what that is. That
Is that
said,
their Christian name?
yes, but it's all one, so it's Water MK Missing.
It's beautiful.
Do you have any general tips for beginning concert photographers? Thoughts on flash photography at shows? And how do you introduce yourself to bands?
Oh, that's a loaded question. The general rule with flashes is 3 songs, no flash for people who aren't working for the band. I've always been told that it annoys bands. Like, Rody, I guess you could speak to that. If someone's going with a flash in your face, like, do you notice?
Never once. I have never noticed the lights or cameras.
Or
Like
action?
you could fucking strobe in
Or
my
action.
face the whole time. Yeah.
Brody's never gotten
You
any
strobe
action.
in my face the whole time, I wouldn't notice. I
Like,
don't
I struggle
notice.
with like small venues. Like if I don't know, like the Horseshoe here in Toronto. Like back in the day, the lighting was terrible. It's getting better, but I've always wanted to turn the flash on. But I felt like I'm supposed to be hidden in the shadows. I move in the night.
Yeah.
Like don't see me. But I'm noticing more and more people are using flash. But the general rule always, especially for the stadium shows, is no flash whatsoever. It's distracting. And I can see it too if they're like recording or if they're filming something, like the flash would be quite annoying. So I've always just not used it when I'm shooting live stuff. And I've become really good friends with the lighting guys for the most part to be like, hey, bro, remember how you did that yesterday? It sucked for me. Can we do something a little different?
I always find it so weird that they kick the fucking photographers out of the like little gap between the stage and the barrier after the first 3 songs, because it's like nothing else is going on there. For the rest of the show, I'm sitting there being like, this is just empty space. They might as well fucking be here. That wasn't bothering me. It was just getting lots of cool pictures for me. You know what I mean? Like
the fans, though, I get people bitch at me. Like people will write me when I just came off the last tour. They're like, hey, I was taking videos in the front row and I got your head a lot. And I'm like, I'm 4'9", so maybe you should grow. But
that is kind of fucked. People complaining like you're not very tall. And I don't mean that as a slight.
No, but then I have friends that are photographers that are in the pit that are like 6'2". So imagine you're someone my height, front row, and that guy is just there. Yeah, blocking everything the whole time. So I think for the most part, like I'm pretty, especially like when I do tours, I'm cognizant of the fans and trying not to block them. But you might get that tall guy who's going to block everyone. So that's kind of why they're like, get out. And you'll notice like tour photographers for the most part don't just hang out in the front. They're trying to get like the dynamics of it all. So that's kind of it.
True.
And in terms of like meeting bands, I just take some pictures and go up to them. Nowadays, it seems like it's a little easier because social media wasn't a thing back in the day. Besides MySpace, you would like write a MySpace band and be like, Airflix, like, hi, I want to shoot your show. But where I grew up in such a small market, I found it was a little bit easier because any band that would come through, usually they came through because my friends were bringing them there. So I would just be like, hey, where are we going to go? Like, let's go hang out and just go up and introduce myself to them and be like, hey, I took some cool pictures. Do you want to see them? No one's going to ever not want to see a cool picture of themselves. They're like, fuck yeah, that's amazing. Like, show this to me. So it was a lot of introductions, like going up, having the balls to be like, do you want some shit? And
yeah, like you were fucking really good at introducing yourself and like socializing, right? I remember you coming up to me and be like, hey, we're all hanging out over here. You guys want a drink? Come on. And just being like, oh, okay, cool.
I mean, that might be a little bit of the new theme too. I just want everyone to hang out. Like, I just want everyone to have a good time. I'm not trying to be friends with everyone, but I want everyone just to enjoy their time in the space that I'm in. So I'm kind of a little bit more like trying to be respectful and like, hey, if you're here, why don't you have a drink with us and look at the pictures I took and then hire me and give me money and let me shoot your album covers and like anything, all the above.
That's fucking awesome.
Hustling.
So you also do like weddings and like newborns and like engagement photos and stuff like that. And you keep the businesses separate. Like you got separate web pages for them. Now, first of all, I was going to say like what pays better, but obviously it is the weddings and shit like that. Like weddings, just every fucking person who works a wedding, no matter what they're doing, the price is like a lot more than it would be if they weren't working the wedding, right? But is there a reason why you keep them separate? Like, are you ashamed of your rock life?
I mean, sometimes. It was mostly when I used to have them together, and then like I had, it is. The band told me they didn't want to look.
I don't want some fancy person thinking that I'm going to be, like,
hungover at their wedding because I shot a show.
Yeah. Hanging out at my wedding. Like, it's not that the pictures will be any different, but you also then have to be at the wedding, right? So you got to look the part at the wedding.
I actually
videographer.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, I started giving up weddings. I started to go back into like whenever I would tour with anyone, it would be always East Coast because everyone was cheap and they didn't want to fly me off the island. And then when I moved to Toronto, people were like, okay, I'll take you on tour. So I actually don't do that many weddings anymore. I just take the tours and the promo stuff now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Unless you want to like renew your vows to Cage, then like I'll show up.
Well, I appreciate that greatly. Fuck, that's cool. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize any of that stuff. Our videographer for our wedding showed up in a bathing suit. Is that cool?
It depends. Were you on a beach or was it just like in a field? Okay, then.
Well, we actually kind of were on a beach. We were on a beach, but it's like in Whitby. There's no sand. It's just rocks. The water is Lake Ontario. It stinks like shit. And nobody in their right mind would go in it. It was a very colorful. No, he was wearing a shirt, but his trunks were very colorful. Was that cool?
Was he wearing trunks so that he could go in the water to take some of the shots? Was that the idea?
No, he was just wearing a bathing suit. He didn't go anywhere near the water.
I mean, we're not here to mock people's fashion choices.
Yes, we are.
Well, a little.
I mean,
Fritzy, you look great.
I'm wearing my Rhodey Walker hat. This is a Rhodey Walker hat.
That looks like you're wearing. It's a dildo dory.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's incredibly relevant. So
he's on brand. He did his research.
So you don't go to that many weddings anymore, but you've been to your fair share.
Oh yeah, I'm like 300 or 400 deep at this point.
Because I hate weddings.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how much you hate weddings.
I'm a therapist at weddings. Like, it's too much.
Yeah. Like, in your 20s and shit, like, all your friends are getting married, and it's like, oh, this is cool at first, and, like, you're getting drunk and whatever, but then it's like everybody just keeps getting married, and your summer is just, like, marriage after marriage after marriage, wedding after wedding. It fucking sucks. So that's but then it stops.
That's on you, Rhodey.
Yeah.
For having too many friends.
For being too nice a guy to too many people.
That age time frame for me was like 3 weddings. That was it.
Oh.
Because I was smart.
Lucky, man.
And I had a real hard time making friends when I was younger.
But eventually it stops, right? You get into your 30s and everybody's either married or fucking permanently single.
Well, no, then you get into your 50s and you get the second marriages.
Second marriage.
Oh.
There's another
I'm not
wave.
there yet, so
it's coming.
I didn't know that.
It's coming, Rhodey.
I'll probably not attend those ones.
Just send a gift.
That'd be okay, right?
Make sure you send a gift.
But what I was thinking was that, Sandra, you have just ended up going to so many weddings, even like you enter your 30s and the like personal ones that you're just invited to stop, and you just gotta keep going to weddings. And you probably can't even get hammered, which is like the best part. I mean, you probably get a little bit.
Just a touch. I started like calling out my clients so that like I would do my consults where we would like have a few beer. I would send them during COVID. I would send them a bottle of wine to be like, "Hey, I'm setting the tone right here, right now. Like I'm gonna cuss and I'm gonna drink a little bit. And if you don't like it, then please don't hire me. I don't want to be around you. You're not my people."
That's fucking sick.
No, I'm not getting loaded at the weddings, like, but enough that these people, it's not that painful by the end. Like, if I'm out with the grandma on the dance floor with the camera taking some cool photos. But you got to numb the pain somehow. It's either that or black tar heroin. So,
oh, yes,
those are the only 2 options.
Yes. That's the only 2.
That's all you get. I have a game, Rhodey. Do we want to play a game? All right. So I stole this from National Public Radio, or at least the idea for it.
Is that a local thing? I've never heard of it.
It's in. Well, you guys are Canadians. It's in America.
Yeah, we don't have NPR here.
Yeah. So it's
not a podcast or anything.
You don't listen to NPR ever?
Yes, of course.
No,
I do.
You don't. You can't. It's illegal.
No, I don't. You're right.
That tiny chairs show, don't they?
Tiny Desk concert?
Tiny Desk. Yeah.
I thought they had like a special little thing that stopped the radio broadcast from going across the border.
You have to drive to Windsor.
Yeah. That's like
just hang out outside of Detroit.
Yeah, it's just
that's where Fritzy's from.
Yeah.
Windsor.
Oh.
I'm from far west Windsor, Ontario. Detroit. Okay, so this game, you are from Dildo, so I thought I would ask you questions about other disgustingly named towns in Canada and see how much you know about
say
them.
that dildos are disgusting.
No,
It's a beautiful tool.
Well, depending on, I don't know. Have you ever seen a bad dragon? I don't know.
No.
So
Is that
there was a town in Saskatchewan called Smuts.
Yeah,
and
my
it
mother's from there.
No, nobody's from there because it's a ghost town.
It's a ghost
It's
town
a
for
ghost
real?
town now. But why is it a ghost town? What happened in the town of Smuts, Saskatchewan, that turned it into a ghost town?
Oh, the great vegetable oil spills
Nope.
of 1962. No.
Nope. A mysterious plague killed half its residents, and the other half fled in fear.
Is this true?
Yeah. There's one building left there. It's a church. That's all that's left.
Weird.
Residents of the town of Climax, Saskatchewan, are the beneficiaries of a special benefit based on the town's name. What is that special benefit?
I don't know.
Pornhub gave them all free subscriptions.
Wow.
I think I knew that.
What is
Are these all in Canada?
Yeah,
I think residents of Dildo get free Pornhub too. I'm pretty sure of this.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is the source, the water source of Crotch Lake, Ontario?
There's no way to
No,
know.
it's the Mississippi River.
Oh.
But no, not that Mississippi River. A different Mississippi River.
It's the Mississauga River.
No, it's the Mississippi River.
Where is Crotch Lake?
It's in Western Ontario.
Right between the thighs.
Yep.
Is that?
This town has the distinction of being the northernmost community in Nova Scotia.
And it's got a nasty name?
Mm-hmm.
Cape Breton.
Meat Cove.
Meat Cove?
Why did the town of Entrance, Alberta...
Now, that's not necessarily filthy.
Well...
the doorway is an entrance.
Sure. Become the town of Old Entrance, Alberta.
It just got older, probably.
Well, the town moved across the river. They moved the post office across the river into a newer building.
So it got newer. Oh, I'm so confused. So they moved the town, and it became Entrance, and then the previous town was Old Entrance.
Yeah. And the town that they moved to, it was an existing place. That place was called Dyke, Alberta. And they changed the name of Dyke, Alberta to Entrance. And then Old Entrance. The Old Entrance became Old Entrance, Alberta.
All right.
So there you go.
You got any trivia about Sackville?
Nope.
It's in New Brunswick.
It's not on my list.
Oh.
What's weird about a sack?
Oh, nothing. Nothing particularly.
I'm just curious.
That's a low hanging joke.
Yeah. That's a good pun. So now, at this point of the night, we should do presents for Sandra.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You made a present for Sandra, right, Fritzy?
No, I made a present for you.
Oh, you didn't make one for Sandra?
No.
Just me? I just made one for her?
Oh, so you didn't make one for me?
No, I made one for you as well.
Oh my God. I didn't know we had to do 2 gifts. You're the worst.
I know, I set you up.
You're the absolute
So let me see.
worst human.
Sandra, I used to have your phone number. I'm going to see if it's still correct. And I am going to just send this picture to the Sandra in my contacts.
No.
And it'll either go to you or a stranger.
Haven't changed my number.
I'm also going to send it to Fritzy so that he can put it on the screen.
Oh, maybe Rhodey
Did you get
Walker.
Oh.
Yes,
That's
I
what
did.
you're in as is maybe Rhodey Walker. I got this number. I think it might be Rhodey. It's maybe Rhodey Walker.
Number. Let it be known, I don't have his number, but he has mine. So it's coming up saying maybe Rhodey Walker.
Yeah, I got you. And I've drawn a picture of you in a heart with Fritzy and I as chicken drumsticks that you are going to eat for some reason.
Oh, I mean, if you did your research, you would know that I'm a vegan.
Well, but we're human beings.
human
That's
meat.
not the same.
Oh,
You
I
can
don't,
eat.
humans don't count. I'll eat humans.
Yeah, humans. Like, I honestly
Yeah.
don't think in a vegan diet human meat would count.
No.
Would they?
Absolutely not. No, just put a little
mean,
bit of salt on it.
Very technically, it would, but it shouldn't, because if you kill all the humans will stop consuming animals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it
No, it is
beneficial for the
Eating
cause.
people is pro animal rights.
And you can tell the difference
I
between
agree.
Fritzy and I based on the length of the mustache and the little what are those called? The little wrinkles at the sides of your eyes?
Oh,
Fritzy?
the crow's feet,
Corn's feet.
corn's feet.
That's right.
That's because, although I don't know, I can't tell how old you think I look, but I'm very old.
He is.
I learned today that my generation has a new name. I didn't know this, but I'm technically now a Zennial.
Oh, I thought it was Australopithecus.
Yes, that's 100% correct. Otherwise known as caveman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zennial. It's like the people who were born between 77 and 83.
Yeah.
The
Xenial, I believe it's pronounced.
Xenial?
Xenial.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, you're right. Probably not. So, yeah, I think at this point we should exchange gifts with one another and get Sandra to judge whose gift is
Okay,
better.
I sent you.
You've sent it to me?
Yeah. Did you send me your gift yet?
No, but I can very quickly. Let me just see. What medium did you send me
I
your gift
texted
at?
you a link. I did some work.
You texted me a link, okay. And I will send you yours very quickly. Let's see this link.
This is not going to work. This is going to go horribly wrong.
Is it going to go bad?
Yep.
It's taking me to protestthehero.com.
No. Is that what I typed?
Yep. Which is, we don't even own that. This is someone
not what
else.
I
It's got a
wanted.
banner across. Like, it looks like our website, but somebody else stole it from us. So we are actually protestthehero.ca.
No,
There's a
that's
banner
not what I
across
meant
the top
to
that
send
says.
you. I meant to send
Are
you
you looking for the
this.
band Protest the Hero? Go to protestthehero.ca.
Okay, I resent it.
Podcast the Hero.
There you go. Podcastthehero.com.
Okay. Oh, is this you've just rebranded the website?
Yeah. To match all
With,
the branding that we do. That we've
all
now
of our cool
everything.
branding.
So even if you go to the pod host thing, it's all branded that way too.
That's a really thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
That's really you know what?
Basically, I just
Practical.
took all of your work.
Okay.
I took it for myself, did stuff with it, and then used it for something that we're doing together, and then
Okay.
presented it in the form of a gift to you.
I love it.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Nobody loves the smell of their own.
Yeah.
Nobody hates the smell of their own. You know what I mean? And that smells strongly of me.
Holy friggin' crap, he's full of crap. Oh my god. What do you crap out if you have only eaten crap?
Do you see? It's an
That's a whole-
acapella. It's an acapella blackbird, but I was singing about you eating crap. Now, Sandra, in the actual podcast, the quality of that will be much higher.
Yeah, we do.
I would be.
We do some nifty things in post production. But yes, basically the words basically said Fritzy eats crap, but what is he crap if he's already full of crap? Mm-hmm. This is the gist of it.
Can we listen to it one more time?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like Sandra didn't get
the
good enough
whole.
listen.
One more time.
All right, well, we can get real close.
Fritzy's eating up a bunch of crap. Holy friggin' crap, he's full of crap. Oh my God. What do you crap out if you have only eaten crap? There. Now is your time to make the judgment.
No, it's.
I mean,
I lose every week,
there's
so don't feel
harmonies.
bad.
There's harmonies.
I
There's
know.
harmonies.
I lose every week. It's fine.
Like the production value is here.
It's fine.
I think Rhodey wins over this one. Sorry, Fritzy.
No, it's okay. It's every week. Every week.
What is that? What is the score now, Fritzy?
10-0.
Do you recall?
10-0.
No, you did win once.
Which one?
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was the night you made all the yogurt straws.
The Gert
Those were
Guzzler?
The Gert Guzzler.
That wasn't a gift.
Yeah.
That was a business opportunity. You got to invest, my dude.
I would invest. So, thank you very much for being here, Sandra. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. This was fucking awesome. It was awesome catching up with you. And if you would like to do the sign off, what we do every week is we tell the audience to eat shit and go fuck themselves.
I think I can handle that.
Okay.
So just everyone eat shit and go fuck yourselves.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. So
That was awesome. That was awesome.